Hello and welcome to Gaming with Killatia. Today we're taking a look at Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. When I first heard about Operation Raccoon City, I kind of figured that it would get a mixed reaction from the Resident Evil community. And guess what? It did. Ranging from people hating it for being a disgrace to the franchise, to people enjoying the what-if story and gameplay style. While I have enjoyed the game, there are obviously some moments where I felt the game could have been held back in beta a little bit more before being released to the public. But we get to the faults of Operation Raccoon City later in the video. Taking place during the Raccoon City incident, you play as the Special Umbrella Operative originally ordered to retrieve the G virus from a local laboratory. However, the operation goes terribly wrong, as not only have you failed to retrieve the sample, there was a terrible outbreak throughout the city and people are slowly turning into zombies. Now, instead of taking responsibility for the outbreak, Umbrella has now ordered you to destroy any evidence throughout the city that links the corporation to the new zombie outbreak. Considering the city is gonna be bombed to death the next day, I think that's kind of a waste of time. However, I guess Umbrella was working on the principle of better safe than sorry. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City takes a step away from the storytelling and the environments of the franchise in order to deliver an action-packed base gameplay. And boy, does it deliver plenty of action. Whether you're playing the main campaign single player or up to 3 co-op buddies, you'll be going in guns a-blazing, taking down many different enemies like US Special Operations Forces, zombies, and special enemies like lectors, hunters, and titans. Oh my! Now granted, it does take gameplay ideals from other games like Gears of War 3, and not necessarily from the recent Resident Evil game. However, the gameplay is still pretty good, and like I said earlier, a lot more fun with more people. Although I did encounter some co-op bugs, which we'll get to in just a second. As far as the graphics are concerned, it's okay, it's very good looking, average for what you expect, but most of the game is very dark. Not really enough lighting to really appreciate just how good looking of a graphics you have in Operation Raccoon City. When you take a look at this clip and compare it to the previous clip that I had, see how much better looking it is with more lighting involved. The music is pretty decent, not exactly up to Resident Evil caliber, but it fits the game fine. And the sound effects are good too. Guns sound like gun, footsteps sounds like footsteps. Nothing wrong going on there. And I had absolutely no problems with the controls. They were very responsive and very fluid. I am playing this game on the PlayStation 3. And I'm kind of disappointed that Operation Raccoon City didn't have support for the PlayStation Move, considering that Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition does have support for the controller. It's not a big deal, but I want to be able to use the PlayStation Move for much more than just simple mini games. Now for the faults of the game. Like I said, I encountered some co-op bugs in my experiences. For example, one of my teammates somehow got ahead of me through the checkpoint, and yet for some odd reason, I could not advance beyond this checkpoint myself. I had to wait until this guy left in order to advance. I don't know about you, but that is annoying. A similar occurrence happened later on in the game, only this time nobody left. We had to wait like 10 minutes for this one gate to open before we could progress any further. No other zombies around, no special ops to kill. We literally had to wait 10 to 15 minutes for a gate to open. What really ticked me off more so than the bugs is the morale choices you have to make at the end of the game, whether to kill or save Leon Kennedy. And no matter the choice you make, you're going to be stuck in some BS deathmatch with your newfound enemies who doesn't agree with you on the choice you made. Now, I can kind of understand going into a deathmatch if I decided to spare Leon's life and hold him up for ransom, but not if I want to kill him. I should have been able to bust a cap on his head right there and then. Not to do like a bullshit deathmatch battle just because two members of my team disagree with me. The whole entire scenario you're forced to go into at the end, it's complete bullshit and really hinders the campaign. Luckily, the multiplayer versus matches feels a lot better. Multiplayer versus mode I found to be a lot more fun than the single player campaign, and I have noticed no lag or any kind of bugs when I was playing online in death matches. And because these maps are filled with zombies, hunters, and all sorts of other enemies besides other multiplayer opponents, it does give Operation Raccoon City an edge over other online shooting multiplayer games. Despite some of the problems I had with Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, I did have a legitimately enjoyable time with the game. Yeah, the campaign is short, about 6 to 7 hours, and the ending is a bit BS, but it was very enjoyable, especially if you get some co-op buddies. And the multiplayer do have a lot to offer. However, I don't think it's worth the $60. Maybe about $40 at best. If you're still not sure about the game, I say at least give it a rental. I give Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City a solid C. This is Killatia signing off, and I hope to see you next time.